Are you ready for your first Python program? Follow me to know what kind of application we are going to learn in this module. Before proceeding further, I want to emphasize the importance of penetration testing these days. Hackers are becoming trickier, and we hear a lot about horrible stories all over the world about companies being hacked. So, if I was a manager and I'm concerned about my security, how should I pick someone to help me against the bad guys? Well, I need to know how to hire a good penetration tester, right? Penetration testers fall into two categories. The first one just sit there, fire a sophisticated scanner, and wait until it finishes up. Then he submits the final report. These guys are very good at definitions and philosophy of things because this is going to keep them out from losing their jobs. I'm sure you've met some similar people in your work environment. The second type of people, they use sophisticated software too, but this is not enough for them. Instead, they learn and learn and learn to feed their curiosity and move forward with their career. That's why you're watching this course, because you want to learn and you don't want to be like the first type, right? Who do you think is going to stop this guy from hacking my company? Now I know who to hire. From a real life scenario, a company was compromised by malware. Penetration testers were able to reverse engineer the malware and figure out how to develop an application that interacts with the attacker listener. Now that's what I call a good penetration testing team. Alright, we're done with this. Now comes the turn of our example for this demo that I took from a real attack scenario. Some bad hackers developed an attack tool that scans for FTP servers and web servers. If found, then the attack tool will launch a series of brute forcing attacks to get credentials. If the credentials are found, then the tool will search for web pages, download them, and inject a redirection to their servers. When it's finished, it uploads this file back to the server. Now, if anyone tries to access these pages, they will be redirected to the attacker listener. Cool, huh? I promised you that we are going to develop real applications, not just definitions and philosophy. In fact, our program will be the most important part of what we have just seen, the FTP brute forcing. The program is an FTP client that is going to try to connect to an FTP server with a combination of username and password that we are going to read from a dictionary file. If the credentials are wrong, then Python will raise an exception and we will retry until we have a successful FTP connection. Wait, we're not done yet. This application will try first to connect using an anonymous credential that some FTP server will allow before wasting our time to brute force account credentials. As you can see, this is the source code of our fantastic program. I tried my best to simplify it as much as possible. So let's start. The entry point is here where we call the main function. Inside the main function, we define the FTP server IP address that we want to attack. Next, we define the username and the path to the passwords dictionary file. That happens to be in the same directory of our program. Next, the application tries to connect with anonymous credentials using the connect function. Let's take a quick look at this function. Like I showed you in the slides, this function tries to establish an FTP connection. If the username and password work, then no exception will be thrown, and the function will return true. If the credentials are wrong, an exception will be thrown, and the function will return false. Let's go back to the main function and check how the brute force logic works. If the anonymous credentials didn't work, next the application will try to open and load the dictionary file. Then, for each line in the file, the loop will try to extract the password and call the connect function again. If it returns true, then we have found the combination of username and password, and the program will exit. If not, then the program will retry with another combination of username and password, and so on and so forth. Let's try it. First, click on the debug menu and set current as main debug file. Next, I will press F5 to start the program. As you can see here in the debug IO window, the anonymous credentials didn't work, so it's going to try to brute force the credentials instead. This process is going to take a while, depending on the password's strength. And voila, the FTP account has been hacked successfully. Username is Gas and password is 123456. I have another server on the network with anonymous credentials enabled. So I'm going to change the IP address. Next, I will press F5 to start the program. Check this out. Anonymous credentials cracked successfully. Of course, this program can be refactored for reusability and performance. But my aim in this demo was to teach you the principles of FTP brute forcing and not to confuse you with programming philosophy practices.